Hi guys, really sorry for that delay. They've been changing things around with the internet here at the studio, so now I'm going live from my phone. So hopefully it's not gonna crash too much. But so yeah, let's get into it. If you're still here and if you're still watching, uh, what up, guys? Mayan here with another live stream, and in this live stream, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about parallel compression and how I've been using it lately. So let's get into it. All right. So I have two sets of drums here. One is going to be electronic music. Is One is based on a track that I did, and the other one is going to be based on like more rock drums and everything, and see how everything is affected. Uh, I'm I think that parallel compression is really useful, especially to get more tonalities out of like the drums, make it like have more textures. So let me show you guys what I mean. So first off, let's start with the rock drums. So let me mute this once and let me show you guys. So in order to set this up, you need two buses that you need to send your music to. And the first one is going to be a clean bus, and then the second one is going to be a parallel bus, right? The parallel one is the one that's going to have like your compressor or whatever effects you want to like do to that bus compressor, and the other one is going to be the clean signal, right? So I have set up this. It's the 1176. It's probably used by almost everyone that I know for this type of compression. So let me show you guys. So what they do is that they actually like click on all the buttons for ratio just to like destroy the sound, and then they start fiddling around with the attack and the release, and then the input and the output, right? So I usually start at 12. You can like crank it up a little bit more if you want to, and then the output, you can like gain it out so like it sounds a little bit more even. But in my opinion, I think that it works absolutely wonderful for rock drums when you're sending all the signals to the bus compressor. Let me show you guys what I mean. So I'm gonna mute the clean, and we're gonna leave the parallel bus on so you guys can hear that. Let me turn that down a little bit. So what's happening there, right? As you guys can hear, it's getting filled out, and everything is adding a little bit more texture to the drums. So let's take it off. This is the clean drum. So super clean. You can hear everything a little bit better in the mix. But once you start and you get the compressor going, there's more grain happening, and that's pretty interesting, right? It gives it more like a room ambience type of deal. I think it works really well for like light drums. It brings a lot of the elements of the room back into the mix after you have cleaned everything up. So let me show you guys what you can do, right? So basically, if you do a longer attack and then you have a longer release, you're actually going to have a little bit more, mm, I don't know, like more pump to this. So let me show you guys. All right, this is basic drums without the compressor. Let's bring this up a little bit. So here's more pump for the kick and the snare, right? It kind of like destroys and squashes things together. So now let's open up the attack and let's bring the release down. We're gonna make things a little bit tighter on the bottom end, right? So here, you're like missing all the transients from the other parts of the drums, right? Because we have a shorter, I mean, a longer release and a shorter attack, right? So the other thing that I use it for, right, is that I kind of like level both signals, so I can like bring some of those like transients in, like more green to the drums. Let me show you guys what I mean. So after I have the parallel done in the way that I like want it to, then I bring in the clean signal and then I try to match them, right? So I'm gonna bring down the parallel and let's bring the signal right there. This is the clean signal. So as you guys can see, super clean, but let's dirty it up a little bit. So it gives it more like room. It's a little bit tighter, a little bit grainier. I kind of like these drums. Now, the biggest issue for me is when I use this technique for my tracks for electronic music, I don't think that I can send everything to the parallel compressor bus because I think it destroys the kick, and I think that for electronic music, we want to keep the kick super clean. So let me show you what I mean. So the same treatment that we had before, right? This is going to be the clean signal. Those drums have been mixed in a track before, so I just want to show you guys kind of like what I mean when I do the same treatment that I did to try to like bring out some of those transients, right? So let's go back to where we were at the beginning. It kind of like distorts the kick a little bit, and I don't know if I want that for the final mix. I do think that it brings a lot to the table when it comes down to the hats, claps, and like all this other stuff, right? That I have in that mix. So the other thing that I actually like to do is I like separating how much I'm sending to this parallel compressor in the mix, right? So the way that you do this is you're actually gonna set up buses for all your drums. So this is going to be for like all the drums here, and I'm gonna send that to the parallel, and then over here I usually do pre-fader. So then technically you can mix how much you're sending of each of the tracks to that parallel compressor, right? And so you don't really have to like send the kick to it, right? So let me show you guys what I mean about with this. So then we're gonna mute this because we don't want to send that anymore. So then we start mixing this in, right? So let's say I'm happy with the kick, you know. So let me bring in the clean signal. This is the clean signal. So now we're gonna start sending the parallel part to this parallel compression bus. And let me show you. So I want the claps. Let me do this. So this is the clean signal. It opens it up a little bit, right? So you don't have to affect all the drums to this parallel compressor bus, right? And you can like send different like amounts too. Now let's hear this without the compressor, the clean signal. Let's bring it up. Really, right? It's just clean signal. Now let's crush it a little bit. See how it opens it up? Now, I do think that the kick would benefit from something like this, but I think that I would do it differently, right? I would probably send this to another bus, and then what I would do is maybe I'm gonna add the same here, but the attack and the release are gonna be different for the kick. So let me. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's a little bit like a little bit more tame. There we go. Oh, it's just in the wrong one. Okay. Now let's bring this two down. And then let's put in the clean mix. And then let's try to like balance it out. Now the kick has a little bit more punch to it. And we get the tonality of the transients of the other parts of the kick, not the kick, of the kit. So I think that for electronic music, or at least for my productions, you can do it differently if you want to. I think this method, the second method, works a little bit better. I think that the first method is it's a little bit more for like live drums. I think it works really well. So yeah, guys, I think that hopefully it's it's this was helpful to you guys, and yeah, all right, guys, have a good rest of your time and enjoy your weekend.